In this video, we'll give you a clear view of what you can do in Lyon. We'll show you everything by category: strolls, night strolls, markets, tours, churches, Roman sites, museums, parks, viewpoints. We are a French family, former travel planners, and we run a user-friendly French travel guide, culturefrancia.com. Check the description, you'll find all our links. First of all, let's start with a quick overview. Lyon was founded by the Romans more than 2,000 years ago, and today it's the third largest city in France with over 500,000 people, and it's famous for being known as the gastronomic capital of France. Lyon is in eastern France, an hour and a half from the Alps and Switzerland. The city has two rivers running across it, the Rhône and the Saône, and most of the places to visit are within an area around 3 kilometers wide as the crow flies. Now let's see the strolls. First, the Old Lyon neighborhood. It's the historic part of the city located along the Saône River and at the foot of the hill named Fourvière. This neighborhood is known for its Renaissance-style architecture, and it has a whole network of old streets, often paved, more or less narrow, with old colorful buildings, and lined with many local shops and traditional Lyon restaurants, called bouchons. The neighborhood is pretty compact with all these streets, but it also has a square that gives it an open space. Now, in Lyon, and especially in this neighborhood, there are what is called traboules. They are passageways that go across buildings to connect one street to another. When you walk across them, you go past hallways, staircases, and hidden courtyards, which really makes you feel like you are discovering a more secret side of the neighborhood. Then, right in the middle of the city, there is the district named Presqu'île, which is like a small peninsula because it's between the two rivers, the Saône and the Rhône. Here, the vibe is more modern, with large avenues lined with big Haussmann-style buildings and different stores. There are also many squares, especially Place Bellecour, which is the largest pedestrian square in Europe, and also Place des Terreaux, surrounded by its historic buildings. Now, this neighborhood also has a group of streets with an older style, with paved ground and lined with many local shops and restaurants with their terraces, which creates a contrast with the large avenues. Then there is the Croix-Rousse neighborhood and its southern half, which is on a gentle slope. Here, the vibe is a bit calmer and more local, with almost an urban village feel inside the big city. Besides the streets, the small squares also add to the charm and identity of this neighborhood. Now in Lyon, you'll see many large murals, especially in this neighborhood. They show scenes from life in Lyon, with iconic local figures and buildings painted in a 3D illusion style. Now, on the bank of the Saône River, there is a walkway made for pedestrians, where you can stroll around by the water, and there you'll get a different vibe compared to the streets and squares in the city's different neighborhoods. Then, on the bank of the other river, the Rhône, there is a wide pedestrian walkway that runs along the water. And you'll also sometimes see bar boats and their terraces set up along this walkway. Now you can also head farther south to the district named Confluence if you want to discover the very modern side of Lyon. In this former industrial wasteland area, everything has been redesigned with contemporary architecture and urban planning, while still keeping a pretty relaxed vibe and not a frantic big city feeling. Now, let's see the night strolls. Once night falls, depending on the season, when the temperature is good enough, you can stroll around in pretty much the same places we saw during the day. Whether it's on the larger streets or in the old paved streets, lively with their bars, restaurants and terraces, or along the river banks and on the bridges connecting the different neighborhoods. Now, let's see the food markets. First, there is the covered market Paul Bocuse, named after one of the most famous French chefs. Here, you'll see many shops selling good quality food products, including some Lyon specialties. And there are also several small restaurants. Then, along the Saône River, there is an outdoor market almost every morning. Here, you'll see different food products, such as fish, meat, spices, fruits, and vegetables. Then, in the Croix-Rousse neighborhood, there is also an outdoor market almost every morning. And there as well, you'll see different food products, all in a friendly neighborhood atmosphere. Now, let's see the tours. There are a lot of activities you can do in Lyon, like sightseeing cruises, food tours, and much more. We've got a dedicated page on our website where you'll find the full list, with provider recommendations for each one. The link is in the description. Now, let's see the churches. First, west of Old Lyon, at the top of Fourvière Hill, there is the Basilica with the same name. It was built in the 19th century and it's known for its white color and unique architecture, especially its 4 octagonal towers. Whether outside or inside, it combines several different styles with very rich decoration. Each part of the basilica has its own details and ornaments, between stained glass windows, golden patterns, and many religious scenes on display. And there is also a large crypt under the basilica, which almost feels like a second church on its own. Then, right in the center of Old Lyon, on its main square, there is Saint Jean-Baptiste Cathedral, which was built between the 12th and 15th centuries. It combines a mix of Romanesque and Gothic styles. And it's also known for its 14th century astronomical clock and its many stained glass windows. Now there are several other churches in Lyon. Here are some that are also worth visiting. You'll find more info about them and other churches on our website. Now, let's see the Roman sites. At the top of the hill, near the basilica, there are the 2 theaters from the Roman era, dating back around 2000 years. The two are side by side, with the main theatre being the largest of its kind in France, and it's still used today for performances. And right next to it, there is the other theatre, smaller, named Odéon. Now let's see the museums. First, right next to the Roman theatres, there is the museum dedicated to Lyon's Roman past, with objects found during excavations in the region. The museum is organized into several themed rooms, covering different parts of the Roman life: administration, trade, religion, arts, and more. Then there is the Museum of Fine Arts. This big museum built around a small garden has a collection of ancient objects, especially from Egypt, Greece, and Rome. And its main part hosts a large collection of stunning artworks from different European painting schools, ranging from the 15th to the 20th century. Now, there are many other museums in Lyon, like the one about cinema, the Silk Museum, the Puppet Museum. You'll find more info about them and other museums on our website. Now, let's see the parks. North of the city, there is the Big Park of Lyon. It's the largest urban park in France, and it dates back to the 19th century and includes many lawns, pathways, and also a lake. To get into the park, there are several entrances all around it, and the main one is on the western side. Once inside, in the northern part, there is a large rose garden with thousands of flowers and hundreds of varieties. Now, near the center of the park, there is also a zoo with around 400 animals from about 60 different species, especially from Africa and Asia. And in the southern part, there is the botanical garden with an outdoor section, with different themed gardens, each with its own dedicated plants. And there is also an indoor section with large greenhouses featuring species from all over the world. Now, let's see the viewpoints. First, the city's main viewpoint is on one side or the other of the basilica. Being at the top of the hill, from there you get the best panorama over the whole city. Then, in the middle of the Croix-Rousse neighborhood, from one of the squares, you get a panorama over the city from another angle. And from the city's different footbridges, you can get views over the river and the building facades along it. Now, let's see an extra category about the Festival of Lights. If you visit Lyon in early December, you should know that every year, around that time, for several days, the city hosts its biggest event, a large light festival named Fête des Lumières. At night, in the downtown neighborhoods, light shows are projected onto the facades of the city's main buildings, creating an impressive mix of colors and contrasts from the lights themselves, while the historic buildings reveal a completely different side. Now, for more info about each place, including opening hours and prices, plus more places to see, check out our website culturefrancia.com. And if you need help planning your trip, join our Facebook group to ask your questions. And for more videos, check out our YouTube channel. It's all well organized into playlists. And to support what we do, like, subscribe, and leave us a comment.